the deputy marshals and other senior officers of the Federal Road Safety Corps present here, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, I want to welcome you most sincerely this afternoon to the Federal Road Safety Corps National Headquarters for a press conference on the outcome of our recent activities. This conference will be in twofold. One, to address the outcome of Easter patrol. That's the patrol that took place during the Easter period break, and then the Eid-al-Fitr Salah patrol, which also took place immediately after the Easter patrol. And then, of course, the second part is to brief you on our activities based on the current events, current happenings on our roads, particularly as it relates to overloading of goods and goods, animals, and human beings inside trucks, trailers, etc. And then the resultant crashes, the high fatalities and injuries, and also the efforts that we have been making in place to ensure that we curb these menace. Another one also is the crashes involving buses, these so-called Homer buses, 18-seater buses, that in most cases results into fire outbreak with people being bombed beyond recognition. You have seen some individuals that were shown to you. It is a great honor for me to be here today to address you and share very important information, especially on the outcome of the Corps outing during the 2024 Easter, as well as Eid-al-Fitr special patrols that lasted from 28 March to 2nd April and 8th April to 13th April 2024, respectively. At the beginning of the year, I had the fortune of interacting with you on the mileage we achieved after the Operation Zero Tolerance exercise that marked the end of the year 2023 activities. Today, to the glory of God, I am once again avail the opportunity not only to inform and update you, but also interact with you on how we fared during the last two special operations organized to ensure reduction in road traffic crashes, road traffic injuries, and fatalities as well. You recall that at the flag off of both the Easter and Salah operations across the country, I reiterated our commitment to reducing crashes on our highways and assured the general populace that the Corps will surpass its own record of the same period in 2023. The optimism was predicated on a number of pre-campaign activities that are taking place ahead of the commencement of the special operations. Notable among these were the multiple and diverse stakeholders interactions, introduction of interagency joint task force, logistic support from the federal government, as well as aggressive public enlightenment and advocacy campaign carried out in motor parks across the Federation. Finally, there was also the identification and mapping of strategic routes across the country and effective deployment of appropriate personnel and logistics to cover them. Interestingly, I'm highly delighted to boldly reveal that the results obtained so far from the two special patrol operations were highly impressive. During the 2024 Easter Special Patrol Operation, the Corps recorded 62 road traffic crashes. This is against the 107 crashes recorded in the same period of 2023, representing 42% decrease. These crashes involve 417 people in 2024, in contrast to 705 in the previous year, that is 2023. Also indicating a significant reduction of 40.9%. The analysis also shows that of the aforementioned crashes, the Corps recorded a reduction in fatalities as 33 victims were killed in 2024 against 81 killed in the same period in 2023. This represents 59.3% reduction. In the same vein, the Corps was also decisive in its rescue operations, as 199 people were rescued without injuries in 2024, against 345 in the previous year. This represents a drop of 43.4% in number of people injured. At the same time, while 189 got rescued without injury in 2024, a total of 279 people were rescued in 2023, representing 32.3% reduction. The records further disclose that during the 2024 Special Patrol, a total number of 4,916 offenders were apprehended. This is in contrast to the 7,110 recorded in 2023, representing 30.9% decrease. The Corps also recorded 4,319 offenses during the 2024 outing against a total of 8,220 in 2023, indicating 47.5% decrease. More so, the Corps also arraigned 66 traffic offenders in court. 61 were convicted and 5 were discharged. On the Eid-al-Fitr Special Patrol, the Corps recorded 42.5% reduction in road traffic crashes, 39.9% reduction in number of people killed, and 55.2% reduction in number of people. 39.6% reduction in number of people involved, and 52.5% reduction in number of people killed. Also, while 32.6% decrease was recorded in the number of people injured. The Corps achieved 43.8% reduction in number of people rescued without injuries. Let me provide you with clearer picture in terms of basic data for solar operations. In 2023, the Corps recorded 127 road traffic crashes. This number was reduced in 2024 to 73, representing 42.5% reduction. In addition, the total number of people killed in 2023 was 59, but the number of people recorded as killed in 2024 reduced to 28, signifying a drop of 52.5%. In 2023 also, a total of 772 people were involved in the crashes, while 466 got involved in 2024, representing 39.6% reduction. On injury, the Corp recorded a total number of 334 rescued with injuries in 2023. This figure is against the 225 recorded in 2024, representing 32.6% decrease, while 379 victims were rescued with injuries in 2023. The figure reduced to 213 in 2024, representing 43.8% reduction. On offenders and offenses, the Corp arrested 5,629 offenders in 2023. This is for the Eid period. This figure reduced in 2024 to 4,815, signifying a drop of 14.5%. Of these offenders committed 6,654 offenses, while in the same period in 2024 they committed 5,721 offenses, representing 14% decrease. While I commend the doggedness, resilience, and capacity of our personnel who risk their lives to save lives on the road, it may interest you to know that this success was not achieved by FRSC alone. The mileage achieved was through a combination of efforts. We owe appreciation to the overwhelming support received from the federal government, as well as the cooperation of our numerous stakeholders, particularly the media, for letting the public know what we do, and also enlightening and cautioning the public through the various outlets. Within the last few months, we have moved beyond rhetoric. A number of concrete actions have been taken which contributed to the successes we have achieved. Being aware of the challenges confronting the actualization of its corporate mandate, the Corp left no stone unturned in its quest to make the road safe. Knowing that achieving tremendous results go beyond issues of law, regulations, policies, and enforcement, we have realized more than ever before the increasing need for collective participation and collaboration of all stakeholders. We leverage on this as a necessary variable that will help us achieve the mileage we have recorded within the period under consideration. I therefore count it a great pleasure to state that presently there has been a high level of partnership between the Federal Road Safety Corps, leadership of various transport unions, security agencies, as well as traffic management agencies. Notable among these fruitful collaborations, which preceded both the Easter and Eid Special Patrol, is the flag work of the Interagency Joint Task Force to enforce compliance against the use of trailers to convey passengers, as well as mitigate road traffic crashes, fatalities, and injuries emanating from the lawlessness of trailer drivers. This joint task force, operating in Niger State, Bauchi State, Taraba State, and Kaduna State, have successfully arrested 66 trailers within this axis, and were able to disembark, that is to bring down 4,206 passengers on these vehicles, these trailers, trucks carrying goods and animals, with a number of 4,206 human beings within this period that we did this operation, and the operation is still ongoing. Since the commencement of the March 23 of the JTF on March 23, the monster of road traffic crashes involving trailers and fatalities that came with them have been adequately tamed, and the situation arrested on all fronts. The crashes that involve these trailers, 218 passengers that we have recorded, with 28 of them injured, and number of people killed at 40. These are the ones that were involved in crashes. These vehicles that were involved in crashes. The first figure I told you are the passengers that we make them to come down from those vehicles, the number of vehicles. But those that were involved in real crashes, the injury, 128 were injured, and 40 people died from those crashes before our intervention. May I bring to your notice that added to the conventional enforcement of traffic regulation on these trailers drivers, we have got a further step by commencing prosecution of recalcitrant drivers through mobile court operation in 36 of the Federation and the FCT. Subsequently, more drastic measures, including suspension and withdrawal of national driver license, will be carried out. Permit me to reiterate at this critical moment that on our part as agency of government charged with road safety superintendents, we have resolved to continue in our strive to make the nation's highway safe. Part of our resolve is to consolidate on the gains recorded so far through the strategic combat operation of the Joint Task Force. We have decided to sustain the tempo by extending the operation of the Joint Task Force to other critical corridors across the nation. In fact, we are currently mapping our plan so that we extend the operation to critical corridors, some identified states in the southern part of the country. But we notice that most of these trailers emanate from the north, moving to the south. Then there are other crashes, as we say, that involve buses, the so-called Hummer buses, the so-called 18-seater buses. Available records from traffic crash report, particularly crashes that occur in Gaya Junction, Kano State, and that of Teshenyari in Kaduna State on the 18th and 19th April, where a total of 18 people were killed, indicate that there is a poor maintenance culture among motorists. The two crashes were caused by the use of substandard tires, were highly avoidable if drivers took the advocacy and sensitization campaigns the code dish out on a daily basis seriously. I say this because vehicle maintenance is central to the safety of the vehicle. May I also refresh your memories with the avoidable crashes that occur on the 14th day of April 2024 on Oyo-Ogomosho route. On that fateful day, a recalcitrant driver of a Toyota Hiace bus that loaded passengers from Ibadan took one way, what we call driving against traffic, or we call it one way or route violation, and on a speed that was against the legal speed on that route, when he crashed onto a Toyota Corolla saloon car, a collision. killing 19 innocent souls on the spot. These innocent victims were burnt beyond recognition. Passengers must always realize that they have the right to speak of any time driver refuses to comply with safety regulation while on transit. This is because the more passengers begin to speak to the conscience of these drivers, the more they wake up to their responsibilities and drive with maximum safety. On this note, it is imperative to let public know that the Corp is already deepening ongoing collaboration with the judiciary across the 36 states of the Federation for speedy trial of drivers involved in road traffic crashes. Also, drivers and vehicle owners who cause crashes on the road will definitely face the wrath of the law. To this end, allow me to once again draw attention of road users to the issue of imbibing moral and ethical rights, which have become a major issue in the country. We witness unwholesome attitude and misdemeanor on the road as well. Such noxious behavior and attitude as outlined above must change. Commuters must imbibe the culture of courtesy, civility, and consideration for other road users. They must learn to do the right thing all the time because you have the right to use the road. So do others. The 18-seater buses, the Homer buses that we use in transit, long distance transit, our findings indicate that they were not actually designed for that purpose. Those buses were designed for shuttle services within towns, airport to hotel, and then some of them are even designed as delivery vehicles. But unfortunately, we get ourselves using those vehicles for long distance, thousands of kilometers. So I think there has to be we have to really look at the transport policy generally. There are certain vehicles that should not are not designed for. That's why if you look at those vehicles very well, there is no provision for you to carry luggage in them because they are not designed for that. But you find those vehicles packed with luggage. Somebody is traveling from Maiduguri to Lagos. You see the luggage protruding at the tail of the vehicle. But there is no balance. There is no comfort for the passenger. Even the driver is not relaxed. Yeah, so we hope that there will be improvement in the rail system, that's the other means of transportation. And they will also hope that our transporters will invest in high capacity buses, which are designed to take people on such long distances. So this is the position of the Federal Road Safety Corps. We'll continue to strive, we'll continue to talk, and we'll continue to enforce. I want to announce to you that we just recently got a letter from Kaduna State government based on our efforts on the letters we wrote to all the states with their commitment that they will prosecute these drivers that kill people, that you don't just kill people and go away and just walk away. We want to appreciate the Kaduna State government for that. And we also hope that other states will follow suit by directing their commissioner for justice to work with the commissioner of police and the federal road safety, so that those drivers that indulge in these unwholesome acts are prosecuted. In fact, we are advocating for jail term, severe jail term for them without option of fine. So by the time we get like 50 jail like that, I think the news, everyone will know about it. And I want to believe that they will be careful on that. So it's a collective effort, it's a concerted effort. I want to appeal to the media to assist us in driving this message, and also to join the advocacy so that there will be stiff penalty for drivers and vehicle owners that indulge themselves in acts that constitute risks to the average road users. I want to thank you very much for your presence. I can see we have a lot of you here. I'm highly impressed. We'll continue to work with you. We'll continue to leverage on your channels because you have the capacity to take this our message further. So thank you very much. Thank you. The issue of the 18-seater buses that have been used for long distance journeys in Nigeria. Yes, even recently the federal government has been, as part of the palliative measures, I think, is bringing in some of these high capacity buses to put in the transport system. So we are going to discuss with the National Assembly whether it is possible to have a legislation that will define which vehicle can be used for what. Although we have regulations, but I think if those regulations can be turned into laws, it will be more effective. We are going to bring this up with the National Assembly, and they will also, it should also help us introduce advocacy so that maybe federal government can make available some of these buses so that the transport union can get those buses probably at a rate, even individuals at a rate that they can afford, so that eventually we can be using these long capacity buses for our long distance journeys. Because I want to let you know that we hardly record any crash or fatal crash associated with some of these companies that use these high capacity buses. ABC, what are the others? You hardly hear any crash. It's always safe to use those vehicles. So if we can transit to that kind of system, I don't think you can go to some countries and then enter highs and say you want to travel for 1,000 kilometers and it's being used and registered as a commercial vehicle. It's not done anywhere. So we'll work with the National Assembly to see if there could be a legislation that can control this, rather than we have the regulation, but a legislation is an act of the National Assembly is much more superior than a regulation. On driving school, yes, the first, some of the driving school you see, one, they have driving range. So what you see in the offices here are just where they take lessons, the theory part of it, but they have driving range, and we have registered driving schools. We have them in our portal. All their information, they are there. We register them, and then it's such that you cannot obtain a driver's license without going through such schools. Yes, there are people that have been doing some malpractices, hacking into the system, but we are also every day we are reviewing the system to ensure that unless you pass through that driving school, you cannot obtain a driver's license. So that is the position on the driving school. You need to have this. In fact, if you obtain a driver's license without a driving school, without going through an approved driving school, that means something has gone wrong along the chain, along the process of obtaining that driver's license. Yeah, that means that there are some compromises, which every day we are working in and out. To any time we identify any area of compromise, we call our IT consultant and look at it and block that. So That is the situation. On the joint task force, what happened really is, well, we identify some critical routes because we are operating on these trailers that are carrying goods and passengers. So we identify specific routes where they follow because so that's why we pick Niger, Kaduna, Plateau, and Taraba because anywhere you carry goods from the far north, eventually they will get to those places. Kaduna, because mostly they head to the south. So you can either pass through Niger State and, as a gateway, or Kaduna State through Abuja as a gateway, or Plateau, Akwanga or as a gateway, or Taraba through Benue State, through Ogoja as a gateway. So that's why we selected those routes. But I think we can still improve on that. But for now, that's where we are focused. And as I said, we want to we want to do the same process in the south also. And when we say joint task force, please don't view it like the joint task force that we're used to carrying firearms and we're not after bandits or this. So it is a civil joint task force, please. Yes. Yeah, riders. Let me take this one. This issue of dispatch riders is a challenge. It's already here. Recently we went for a program on sustainable transportation in US, arranged by the World Health Organization. So we now discovered that these dispatch riders, the challenge we have here is everywhere. The person from UK complain about dispatch riders. In the US, they complain about them that they don't even obey traffic lights. In US, it's a challenge with them. So and we have the same problem here in Nigeria too with the dispatch. I know in the FCT here, the VIO or the Director of Road Traffic Service are doing special operation on them, and then we are also they have not actually, the riders, bike riders, they have an association, a Comoran, but these dispatch riders, they don't see themselves as part of this. So what we do usually, we reach out to their principals, like the food vendors or the restaurant that they serve mostly, and all the courier services like DHL or this thing. We are interacting with them so that we can curtail their activities. But they are a menace actually, and I think we are going to have to look at them more. They go at top speed and they drive dangerously. They overtake dangerously, cut across motor vehicles. So we are going to take a special note of that. Okay, the issue of bond vehicle, I don't think it's possible to have fire service everywhere for vehicles that happen to be on fire as a result of crash. What we are thinking, we are not sure of, is that one, around this period, the temperature is very high. So any collision, any small impact, any small spark, there will be a fire. For you to have fire, one of the elements is heat. So and it's there. The temperature is so high, so it's very easy for items to be on fire. Then another theory what we are thinking of is that because most of these involve buses, probably these buses are carrying fuel inside, in jerry cans. But if there is such a fire outbreak, you cannot trace any evidence unless you have real forensic investigation, because the jerrycan will naturally melt. You may not even trace anything about it. Everything will melt, even metal too, it can melt. So we are suspecting that they carry fuel as well. At our last meeting, management meeting, one of the officers raised an observation what they were doing in Kwara, that they were stopping them and checking to see if there's fuel inside the boot, if they are carrying fuel, and they will just remove the fuel and ask the driver to continue with his journey. Yes. But I know there is no fuel scarcity now, so I don't know. But really? Okay, yes, there is. I can see queue. I can see queue. But they say, what they say, most especially those that travel in the night, they carry the extra fuel because they feel that maybe they can get to a place in the night and there is no fuel. And then there's another theory is that the fuel is cheaper in the south. So they buy in jerry cans when they are coming down north. So all those things are there. The only thing we can do about this is this manual checking at regular intervals, so that if there is fuel, we remove the fuel. But you cannot, there is no way you have fire service at all these points to come by. Even in the city center at homes, when you have fire outbreak, at times until when the house is already finished, then the fire truck will arrive to place of something in the bush. Yeah, so I think I've tried to answer the five or six questions. I hope that that's right. Yes.